Hey there everyone, Magic Flying Potato here, hope you're doing well, and welcome to Valheim. So what I'm going to try to do in this guide is I'm going to try to make a simplistic, comprehensive new player slash casual player guide to Valheim. With that said, this game is an open world, open survival game, so that means there's technically no right or wrong way to play the game. It's the way you want to play it. With that said, I'm not going to try to power level you up. I'm not going to use mods, cheats, hacks, or exploits in any way to modify this game. So it's just a guide to help you through. And I'm going to try to timestamp key events below to help you find the key events if you're struggling with them. So what I'm going to do in this video is we're just going to try to get through day one, and hopefully I can help you out with different aspects of the game. So let's go ahead and get started. And the first thing you need to do is you need to always talk to Hugin whenever you see this bird, because this bird will give you the key information that you need to know to progress in the game. Okay, so these register stones right here you'll find throughout the world as you play, and these will give you the location of the boss that you need to go get in order to progress to the next level of boss. And also the boss will unlock key pieces of equipment that you will need to also progress in the game and progress throughout different ages, because right now we're in a Stone Age, and then you move up to the Bronze Age, and then the Iron Age, and you keep on moving up. So what you're going to do is if you click the M key for map, you'll notice that the world is huge, and here's the sacrificial stones, and there's really not much else out there marked on the map. This stone right here, when you see them, for this one, you go ahead and click register location. So right here, this is telling you where the first boss is at. So we don't have to go there. I don't suggest you go there until you build up your character's skills, and also you get the right equipment or enough equipment and establish yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back here, and we're just going to do things in a progressive way. So when you first get into the game, if you click your tab key, which goes into your inventory, you really don't have anything in your inventory. No skills, no crafting or anything like that. Hugin tells you to go ahead and start collecting wood and stone, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So for collecting stone, when you first start off, you'll see these little pieces of rock on the ground like this. Go ahead and just pick those up, and they will go into your inventory. And as you can see, once you pick things up or pick up new items in the game, you'll get things that start unlocking. So if we go back to our menu, as you can see, there's still really nothing there. It just told us that we picked up a rock and couple things that we're able to craft, but they're not in that menu. That would come later. Go ahead and pick up a branch. That right there is key information. So now if we go into the crafting inventory, you can see that we now have 3 items that we can craft. The hammer is very important, and the stone axe and a hammer are very important. Club, you can make the club or not, because the stone axe is a tool, but it also is a weapon. If you look over here on the description, you'll see that the axe has a slash of 15, block power, parry, force, and all this is for combat related situations. Club is a blunt object, blunt damage, and this game is very similar to like Dungeons and Dragons. Different types of weapons do different types of damage to the monsters and animals that are out there. Some like skeletons are more prone to take higher damage with blunt force weapons than piercing weapons. So just some things to remember while you're out here playing the game and fighting. So we're just going to go around and start picking up rocks and branches and other items. If you look over here, come around, there's raspberries. These are key for your health and stamina. Same with the mushrooms. So any type of vegetable or fruit, go ahead and pick it up. It will definitely help you out because it increases your health and stamina. Right here, Hugin will tell us that consuming snacks improve your health and stamina, like I just said. So we'll go ahead and continue moving on. I try not to swing the camera around so much. I would suggest picking up as many rocks as you can before nighttime hits, because once nighttime hits, it is very hard to see rocks, even with your torch. So if you can't find wood, like the little branches laying on the ground, you could go ahead and punch bushes. It's 2 for 1. You'll improved your unarmed combat, and you'll also get wood. And you could also punch the smaller trees like this, the saplings. And as you see, anything you do with running or activities or fighting, that will use up your stamina points. So you need to keep a close eye on that whenever doing anything, because if you have no stamina and a mob comes up to you like this guy right here, if you're low on stamina or out of stamina, you can't fight and you can't block. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make the stone axe real quick, just so whenever he comes back around. And if you notice, the axe or anything that you craft will automatically go into your hotbar up here as long as it's empty. Next will go into your inventory as long as it's empty. And if either one is if your backpack is full, you won't be able to make the item until you drop something or consume something. Get rid of a slot in your backpack. So now that we created the axe, we're going to go ahead and start chopping down some more trees. As you can see, I picked up some resin from the tree. And so with the axe, you could actually start chopping down the bigger trees. Now, important piece of information here at the beginning of the game: whenever you start doing anything that makes noise, you're going to attract these little greylings. And so fighting with them is relatively easy. You just have to, at first, see, they're not very aggressive. They will run away. Right there, he hears you're making noise. Always remember, use your right mouse button to block. I suggest really practicing that block move, because it will save your life in a lot of times. Because if you get a good block like I did the first time, it does a knockback and stun, and that will allow you to go in and definitely get some good hits in on whatever is attacking you. So definitely practice. Learn the mob's attack. Each one has something specific that they'll do prior to their attack. Learn that move, and prior to that, just go ahead and put your block up. And if you block at the right time, you get that good block in, and you stun them. So key information for that. What I'm gonna build next is the hammer. When you're cutting down trees, definitely watch where they fall and watch other trees around them, because when they fall, if they fall on you with low hit points, they could kill you or cause lots of damage. So just be careful when you're cutting them. And they will also roll. That's another thing that will damage you or kill you if you're not careful and you're not watching your hit points. So I'm going to go ahead and create a club. As you can see, new item club, and it goes into the bar up here. And now I'm going to make the hammer because I have enough things. Once you create the hammer, Hugin will come back. We'll go ahead and craft it, and as you can see, you're going to be able to start building a lot more things. Alright, for now I'm just going to pick this area right here. It's not the key, an ideal location. When you first start out, first bases are usually not where you're going to really want to end up at. So, but I'm just going to do this for tutorial purposes. So I'm going to put this bench here. And as you can see, I equip the hammer. I go ahead and do a right click on the mouse button. And when you do that, the hammer will show you all the things that you can craft. Ones that are like this that are craftable. Anything that's grayed out is not craftable at the moment. And you can see there's really not a whole lot of things that I can build. So what you do is you, again, equip the hammer, right click your mouse button, go to crafting and click on the bench. You will see that dotted line in the background, and that is your building radius of the workbench, which means anything that is buildable using the workbench, you can build within that radius. Now, if I was too close to something like the start area over there, I would not be able to build because it doesn't allow you to build right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and plop this down right here. And as you can see, a whole new set of items have come across from putting just the bench down. I will unequip the hammer and go ahead and talk to Hugin. And he says the same things. It's, you could start building stuff and things with it. All right. So what I want to do is I want to come up to the workbench. And now it says the crafting station needs a roof. This is why I was talking about trying to make it on, find some level ground to start off with. So we're going to go ahead and equip the hammer. Do a right click. And now as you can see, you got all your building items right here for now. You got some furniture items, which are very important. The bed and your storage chest and a light. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click over here. And we're just going to build a very small... First, we'll get rid of Hugin. We're going to build a very small hut for this this workbench because it is starting to get dark. And once you get used to building, it's pretty easy in this game. I do like building in this game. It's simple, and you can do all kinds of things with the way the snapping works in this game, which is nice. And we'll go ahead and put a little... So right here, if I don't put the roof on, if I access this workbench, it still says it's too exposed, which means it's too exposed to the weather. So I'm going to just continue on building. And your first shelter does not have to be elaborate at all. It can just be something, a little basic square house, or a basic lean-to. I think I'd put the other slope on. No, I'd put those ones on. I thought I put a different one on. Alright, I do need more wood, so let me go get some more wood real quick. Alright, once you get the lean-to done, your building is probably going to start getting dark, and Hugo does want to talk to you. So when he talks about the weather, he's talking about building a fire and things like that. Now, weather does affect your fire. So if it is raining and your fireplace or your fire pit is outside, it will go out because of the rain. So it's kind of good to build the fire underneath the shelter area. So we're going to go ahead and do that if I have enough resources. Go ahead and put the hammer in, right click, go to miscellaneous, and right there is your fire. So I'm going to go ahead and just place it on the ground a little bit underneath this right there. So as you can see right there, I do have a fire. Now if you look at it, The fireplace, the fire pits do use wood. So if you look at the first line where it says fire fuel 1 to 10, you could put up to 10 logs on here, and that's how long it will burn for. Once it runs out, the fire will go out, but then all you can do is throw some more wood into the fire to restart the fire. Another thing to remember about making a fire indoors like this is that you do get smoke inhalation. So you're going to need some sort of vents within your building. If I close up these whole side walls on both sides and make this an enclosed building, this smoke has nowhere to go, and you will start suffering from smoke inhalation, and you could actually die from that in this game. Another good information about the workbench, I'm going to go ahead. If you notice, my axe is broken. Items that are broke, you don't have to get rid of. All you do is come over to the workbench, click E, and this little tool right here, the repair item. Repairing requires absolutely no resources in the game, so repair as much as possible. So as you can see, my axe is no longer useful because the durability is 0. So I come over here and just start clicking. Click away until you can't click anymore, until it grays out. And everything that is able to be repaired on this bench is repaired. So that's a very awesome feature to the game. I love that. Takes the grind away from it. So the next thing I do want to build is a bed. So we're going to have to go get some more wood. Okay, once you have enough wood, and you can go ahead and equip your hammer. Do a right click, click on furniture, and go ahead and place your bed. Your bed has to be placed underneath a shelter, and it has to be within a certain radius of this fire, or if not, you won't be able to use the bed and sleep. It will give you that that warning that you're not able to. You need cover for your bed, or you need a fire pit. So we'll go ahead and talk to Hugo once again, since we made the bed. And he talks about sleeping the night away and stuff like that. So go ahead, click E again to get rid of them. So these beds now become your spawn points. So throughout the game, go ahead and went ahead and set the spawn point. So now if I die, I will spawn right back here in this shelter. If I forget to make a bed or click a spawn point, prior to making this or anything like that, or if I destroy this, your spawn point will be back at the center of the very start of the game. So that's something to remember as well. Remember to update your spawn points, especially if the further away you start traveling. If you die, you don't want to run from here to here. So I suggest making spawn points as you go, or if you know you're going to get into combat, go ahead and make a spawn point near that combat area. Just make a small little shelter with fire, bench, and make a bed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and sleep. And and you made it through day 1. So now it's day 2, and it will tell you every day. And days just really, as far as I know, just tell you how long you've been surviving in this world, or living in the world. So what we're going to do today is we are going to go work on food. So as you see, I did pick up some strawberries and mushrooms, which I didn't eat yesterday, which you should eat as soon as you get them, because like I said, they do build up your health and stamina. So we'll go ahead and right click on the mushroom. And if I try to right click on it again, as you see, it says I can't eat anymore, but yet I have these 2 more slots here. This is where your food is at. It shows you what you have eaten. This is, again, your hunger level and what you've eaten. So it stays gray if you don't have any food on you. This is the results from eating this mushroom, and as you can see, my health bar is going up, and I have that extra space there. I'm going to go ahead and eat a strawberry as well. Again, this red bar has gone up again, and this bar has raised, and you'll see these tick marks, these green tick marks coming above my head. That means that is my health increasing right there. And with the increase of health, I will also have an increase in stamina. That stamina bar down below has increased now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go out of here, and we're going to attack some of these boars. because the boar will give you some key items as well. You could sneak up on them, or you could just run up on them. The way you do this, it's all up to you. You definitely increase your sneak skill when you do it. So killing your first boar, go ahead and let the items go up into your inventory like that. And as you can see, now I have a whole bunch of new items that I'm able to make. So boars are aggressive. They will attack you. They'll attack and they'll run away. They'll attack and run away. Key things to remember when attacking, or when you're near boars, they will go after you. Thought there was, yep, there's another one right there. Okay, so when you attack, when you do finally get the boars, they will give you different types of items. So they'll give you the leather scrap, they will give you raw meat, and they will also give you this boar trophy. Hang on to the boar, any trophy, head trophy that you get, build a storage box, put them in the storage box. They will come into use later in the game. If you come over to the bench and you click E, now when you hit come to the bench again, repair things, you'll see that a lot more crafting items have been unlocked. When I got the boar, the rag tunic, the rag pants, the crude bow, and the shields have now been unlocked. Although I am unable to build them right now because I need 5 leather scraps, 8, 4 with resin. So as you can see, so yeah, I'll be able to build that once I start getting more leather scraps, which come from the boar. When you're finally able to kill a deer, you could either try to sneak up on them to kill them, or wait till you get a bow. Once we did, that'll be in a later episode about using bows and stuff like that. But here's another key item you want to try to build right away is your hoe. Go ahead and do that. And as you can see, with the hoe, we'll go ahead and equip it. You'll see once you equip it, you'll have that round circle in there. But there are 3 things this hoe can do. Once you equip it and put it in your hand, go ahead and do a right click. And you'll see these 3 options right here. So this is level ground, this is to raise the ground, and this is to make a path. Leveling ground is just what it says. So if I want to make this area flat, we'll go ahead and, as you can see, that circle, and then there's a line. So the ground over here was not level. Say I want to bring it up to this level right about here. You'll still see that there's a line there, but it will get longer there, so that means it's going downwards. So if I start here and move across, it will bring this ground up to this level, if this makes sense. So let me just go ahead and hit it once, and you see that this area is cleared and it's kind of flat. Come over here. This area is pretty much level with this one. Hit it another time, a couple times like that. And if I keep coming across like this, eventually, this guy will bug me. Go back to trying to level this out. Now, certain areas you won't be able to level, like this incline might be a little too much for me to level without needing to raise it some. But with this, by doing this, you're able to build on flat ground, and it makes it a lot easier for building, and it clears out the grass. For now, when I'm doing this, if I do this too close to the bench, it will destroy the bench, my bed, or the fireplace. If I hit one of the 3 with the leveling tool, so I'm going to just go around them. And as you can see, the fireplace is now floating. Key thing about this is, go ahead and, if you dismantling anything in this game, you get all your resources back. Except for, let me say, like with the fireplace, it requires stone and wood. I won't get the wood back, but I'll get the 5 stone back. So right there, 5 stones at it, and I could just go ahead and rebuild this fireplace back on the ground. And I can do that with any building item in this game. So that's something very important, and I think it's great to know. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, as you can see, it just said I could use a nut to eat another bite. If you look down at the bottom left, I no longer show the mushroom or the strawberry in my health bar, and my health has gone back down to 25, which also lowers my stamina. What I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and build a quick fire pit. So go ahead and equip your hammer, right click, go to crafting, and the cooking station is right here. It must be placed over a fire like this, because this is the way you're going to cook food. So go ahead and put it over your fire and click on it, and then remove the hammer. And if you do have raw meat of any kind, go ahead and just look at the cooking station and click E to put the item on. When cooking, there's something you need to listen to. If you listen to it right now, you hear it cooking. You want to listen for the sizzle. Okay, right there where you start hearing the sizzle, and that means the meat is done, and it will also turn a darker color. So go ahead and pull it off the cooking station, because if you leave it there too long, it turns into a charred piece of coal, which can be used later on, but you cannot eat that. So be sure to listen to what you put on your fire, and once you hear the sizzling noise, it means go ahead and hit E again to take it off the fire. Sometimes it will pop up and fall in the fire or stay on top of the cooking station itself. So all you do is click E or get closer to that item. A good thing to know is you can catch on fire. So if you put this somewhere where you're constantly going back and forth, you can run into the fire by mistake and actually kill yourself. Good suggestion for the fire pit is take these small little walls like this and just snap it around like that. Now, when I come around the fireplace, I won't have to worry about running into the fire. You won't have to worry about this wood catching on fire. Making the fire pit must be placed on dirt. You cannot, dirt or ground. You cannot put it on a wood floor. I forgot to mention that earlier. And so pretty much, once you cook that meat, we'll go ahead and eat it. And as you can see, this actually has a higher effect for my health and stamina. As you can see, this bar is a lot higher. I'll go ahead and eat another raspberry. As you can see, raspberry and mushrooms really don't have as much effect together. That's a combined effect right here at the red bar. So having some sort of meat, and later on as you progress, you'll be able to create more and more edible items. The last thing we're going to do before we call it quits for today is we're going to go ahead and build a quick... I'm going to put a floor on here. That's what we're going to do. It'll make it look a little bit neater. I know I have a rock right there, so... And so I'm going to need to get rid of this workbench real quick. So once I get rid of the workbench, I won't be able to build the floor. Or am I? Nope, so missing requirements. So I'm going to have to put the workbench. Actually, I'll put the workbench outside for right now, and I will move it back in. Again, great thing about this game is you don't lose the building materials when you take something down. Alright, so I'm back at my house, and I did put some floors down, another wall, and a door. I will fill this in next time. So what I want to do right before I leave this one is we're going to go ahead and build a chest. And I'm going to put it right here for now, and I will show you some next time a technique so you can build shelves and stack these. So just go ahead and place it there. These chests can actually be placed extremely close and like almost on top of one another like this, for sake of making more room to place things. So I went ahead and made two. You can go ahead and click E, open them up. As you can see, the chest doesn't really store many items, but it's a great place to keep a lot of your items that you're collecting throughout the game. You're gonna need tons of chests in this game because you're gonna be collecting tons and tons of items, and your inventory is gonna be filled up a lot. So that is just the surviving the first 2 days of this game. I mean, again, everybody has their own way of playing. I'm more of a casual player, so what I do is I'll collect lots and lots of resources and just start building up my character and the items that he has. Not trying to power level through like I said before, so I'm just this is just kind of like again a casual player, new player guide of basics, very, very basic things to do when you first start out in the game. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. And if you like the video, thumbs up. If you don't like it, thumbs down. That is okay with me. And I hope you guys have a great time out there exploring Valheim. And once again, this is Magic Flying Potato, and I am Ooze.